Alright, so here we are, guys. We are here in week 10 of the LSBA. So this is a super crucial match. We are fighting Josh, and we have not fought him yet this season. And so the deal is that if we lose, and if Jersey beats Rossi, he gets a playoff spot over us. However, if we win here, then playoffs are guaranteed regardless of the outcome between Jersey and Rossi. So we got to win this match because I don't want to have to put all my faith in Rossi to get us in the playoffs. I want to get there, obviously, on my own terms. So he brings pretty much exactly what I was expecting. Celestia, Hippowdon, Venusaur, Golisopod, Alakazam, and Heatran. So I really want to get up rocks early on in this match, because that will limit the amount of switch-ins the Golisopod has. However, so things that I can lead, so all I have for rocks is my Lycanroc, and I could lead off with that. I could also lead off with Rotom to see what he wants to lead off with, but if he leads off with Hippowdon, and if we trade rocks, I feel like that is the best opportunity I'm going to get up my own rocks. And I do have speed, and I would like to keep Lycanroc around because he doesn't have switch-ins to it at all, besides the Hippowdon. Yeah, I'm going to lead off with Lycanroc, as he does lead off with Hippowdon. So let's do some calcs, because calcs are our best friend. Lycanroc, Midnight, Navy Blue versus Hippowdon. Assuming he is not offensive at all, Earthquake still has a good chance to knock us out. That would be really unfortunate for us if we lose Lycanroc right here, but like I said, we need our rocks up. Yeah, so we just trade rocks. I'm totally fine with that. And now I can just go into Vaporeon. As he goes for the Toxic, he's probably going to switch out here, so I'm just going to go for a Heal Bell. He's not going to want to stay in and take a Scald. Or he will want to stay in and take a Scald. So, hold on. So Sandstorm comes into effect before. I'm just going to protect here. Yeah. And now I'm going to go for a Wish. And I'll Scald here now. Get some chip damage on the Hippowdon. Because we should be able to live in Earthquake. Actually, hold on. Let's be safe. Oh, actually, that looks like a really low roll based on that last EQ. 39.2. Yeah, that was an absolute min roll. So if we're at 42.6%. 42.6. Nope. 42. Earthquake has over a 50% chance to knock us out. So we have to protect here as he goes into Venusaur. I don't know what this Venusaur wants to do to me. I could go out into the Rotom. Let's see here. What is Venusaur? Because we are max specially defensive. If it is defensive, Sludge Bomb does not do a whole lot to us. We're going to assume Giga Drain. Drain. Does 38.8% max to us if he's defensive. So I think I want to stay in and go for a heal, get rid of this toxic to see what. Actually, no, I want to go for Wish. Yeah, now I'm just going to go for a Scald. Because we're going to get our Wish back at the end of this turn, and even with a crit, pretty sure he cannot knock me out. We don't get a burn. That's unfortunate. But getting rid of this Halpowdon would actually be really nice, because then he has no switch-ins at all to Lycanroc or Scizor. So, do I want to go for the Heal Bell, predicting he's going to switch out? Actually, I have to Heal Bell if I'm staying in at all. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now I can go for a Wish. We're at 51%. Let's assume he is modest. Max special attack. If he is, he does a maximum of 51.4%, which means he can knock me out. But the roll is definitely in our favor, and that's assuming he is absolutely max special attack. So let's protect to see what he wants to go for. Let's see here. Vaporeon already doing what it does best, just sitting there, taking hits, taking physical hits. Yeah, so there's the Giga Drain. I think I want to go into Celebi. Or I could go into Scizor. Scizor has enough speed to outspeed a no speed investment Venusaur, and it has the Aerial Ace. I have Assault Vest, so I could go into Scizor and go for the Aerial Ace. What does that get me? We haven't seen Slack Off yet on the Halpowdon, but we haven't seen one move in it, which I'm guessing will be the Slack Off. If he does have Slack Off and not Stone Edge, then Rotom, it can't really touch Rotom outside of Toxic, which is really nice to know. I don't think he's going to go for a Sludge Bomb here. No, I'm going to go for a Wish. Alright, so we see 43% done to us. So that could be another min roll on Modest. Yeah, exactly 43. It does exactly 43 as a min roll Modest. So if he is Modest max special attack, sorry about that min roll, but you would have need a pretty high roll to be able to knock us out. So now we're just going to go for Protect. Get our health back. So Vaporeon takes on the Heatran really well, unless he is Z Solar Beam, which he probably is. I would be very surprised if he's not Z Solar Beam. So he goes for Sludge Bomb here. So, seeing he is, let's go bold. So if he's bold but still max special attack, 43% is roughly a mid-roll. Or a mid-roll, sorry. Unfortunately, the thing is, I don't know if he's max HP or he has speed investment or what. But he's been going for Sludge Bombs and Giga Drains. So what does that do to Scizor? Zero, not bold. Let's assume modest. So Aerial Ace is to a KO. HP Fire has a chance to OHKO me after rocks. Very low chance, but still. And after a Giga Drain, it will OHKO. So, and then what about Celebi? I didn't know me to do that. Celebi does 62 to 73%. So I think I want to go into Rotom. I could also go into Wobbuffet, because he does seem to be offensive. That's actually what I'm going to do. Because getting rid of this Venusaur would also be really nice. Alright, so he goes into Celesteela. I can Encore him into anything he wants to go for. Or I could just go right onto Rotom. 4. What does Heavy Slam from Celesteela do to us? Utility attacker, I suppose. Not a lot. And we can Encore him into anything he wants to go for. So let's do that. He goes for Leech Seed. That's fine. So now I can go into Celebi. Go for a Charge Beam. So unfortunately, Wobbuffet is now at a range where he does go down to Choice Banded Bug moves from Galapagos after rocks. Which is kind of the reason I went max defensive on Wobbuffet in order to take at least one move from Galapagos. However, I did switch out. I originally was 4 attacks on Celebi, but I traded out Giga Drain for Protect so that I can bypass the first impression from Galapagos. And then obviously I outspeed. So here comes the Galapagos. We go for a Charge Beam. Emergency exit. So Galapagos has 1 switch in left, which is fantastic. Alright. So now Heatran is in, which is strange, because I definitely have Earth Power. So he could be... Unfortunately, I did not get the special attack boost, which would have been really nice. I have a 70% chance to get it, but oh well. I'll use Z move, I suppose. So Earth Power does definitely kills offensive Heatran, but if we're going to assume defensive, Calm 252 looks like we are not going to kill with Earth Power. Yeah. He could also have the Ground Berry. I think I want to go into Rotom though, because Rotom resists everything that Heatran wants to go for. Can't hit us with Earth Power, we resist Flash Cannon, Fire Move, and the Solar Beam. And then we could just full switch out. So he gets a Mega Storm and gets a crit, which is really not ideal. But I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch. If he outspeeds me, then we see that he is speed invested, in which case Earth Power should kill. And he does outspeed me. He gets... Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure we live. that's frustrating. However, now I can go back into Celebi and just go for the Earth Power, because now we know he has enough speed. He's probably Scarfed? 141. He might be Scarf Heatran, but I doubt it. Actually, no, the way he brought it in on Celebi makes me think Scarf Heatran. So, what does Lycanroc do to Hippowdon and to Celesteela? Because I want to go into Lycanroc and go for Stone Edge. Physically defensive. Stone Edge. Alright, so we're doing roughly 18-19% to Hippowdon. Times 2 is 38, so yeah, Hippowdon can come in on the Lycanroc and slack off or go for Earthquake. Could go into Vaporeon and go for Protect. Or go into Wobbuffet and Mirror Coat. I'm not too worried about Heatran. Actually, yeah, because it's one less switch into Scizor. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to Mirror Coat. I should be... I did not do this calc. I am an idiot. Wobbuffet. Just 48 to 56. We are at 63. We live. That double crit Magnastorm. So not only does Magnastorm have a 75% accuracy, but he hits twice and crits twice. 2 weeks in a row that we got hacked hard. But well, it's Pokemon. So if he is Scarfed, it will be confirmed and he will stay and go for Magnastorm. Well, actually, he has to stay in unless he Shed Shell. So he has to stay in and go for something. I really hate losing Rotom because it came in on Celesteela every time. But it's not over yet. Rotom was mostly here for the Flygon. It was max physically defensive with Will-O-Wisp in case he brought that. He didn't bring any other than Gliscod, obviously. Didn't bring any like serious physical attackers. He seems to be making a decision here. So maybe he's not Scarfed? Yep. And here comes that Mirror Coat. Alright, so that's Heatran gone. And now we're at 72%. And here's the Golisopod. So he's definitely going for first impression. Unless he's not. Do I need Wobbuffet anymore? I don't think so. I don't think I need Wobbuffet anymore. Because Golisopod can't come in anymore after Rocks. I mean, Wobbuffet might be nice for Alakazam, but after another switch in for Rocks, I don't... if he's like Modest Life Orb, we might not be able to live the Shadow Ball. So I'm just going to sack Wobbuffet here. It did its job in a way. Actually, yeah, counter. Gosh dang it, I thought he might start setting up spikes. So I'm going to. So yeah, if he. Shoot, man, I lost. And I fucking lost Rotom to crits. Because I could have came in and defogged. I'm pissed. Yeah, that's really annoying that Rotom went down because it had defog. It could have came in on Hippowdon or Celesteela. So, Heatran's gone. I don't need Vaporeon that much anymore. And Scizor's still really nice for Bullet Punch on the Alakazam. Yeah, so there's a Flamethrower. Let's do that calc, so 6.8% on Celesteela. Flamethrower 5.9 to 6.7. It did 6.8, so he has at least some special attack investment. He's not max special attack, because that does a minimum 7.1. So he's like middling special attack investment. And Heavy Slam is 25%, so I just want to go for a Scald. I want to hopefully get a burn. Like I said, I don't really need Vaporeon anymore. I'm just going to go for Scald Burns and let Vaporeon go down. If I had Baton Pass on it, I might have kept it around because it more easily passes around Wishes. We do find we outspeed, so we at least know that Celesteela has like no speed investment, so it's probably max HP, some defense or special defense investment, and some special attack investment. I would love a Skull Burn here. Even if he goes on to Venusaur, just a little bit of chip damage on that thing would be fantastic. And seeing as we do outspeed, we can Wish on our last turn. So he gets into Alakazam, which is interesting. So what is Sucker Punch from Life Orb? From our Lycanroc do? Sucker Punch demolishes it. What about Scizor? What does Bullet Punch do? Bullet Punch does 80 to 95. So actually, both Scizor and Lycanroc are in positions to kill Alakazam, assuming no defensive investment. But he'd have to be like super heavily invested in defense to live Sucker Punch from Lycanroc, which would defeat the purpose of Alakazam. I'm just gonna, yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna, actually no, I'm gonna go for Wish. Yeah, so there's the Shadow Ball. And actually, this is super nice, because now I can go into Scizor. So, can I live? Probably not. HP Fire? No, I cannot. What about Lycanroc? Cannot live a Focus Blast. Cannot live a Psychic either. Goodness. So yeah, I could go into Celebi, potentially. So let's see, Leech Seed Flamethrower, probably Air Slash if he has special attack investment. Maybe Protect for the leftovers recovery. Or it might be Heavy Slam. So, I could go on Scizor and play mind games with the Bullet Punch in Pursuit. If I go into Lycanroc, I guarantee kill unless he's actually Vaporeon. Let's see if he's Life Orb or not. Shadow Ball did 20%, which looks like it's in. Yeah, that is definitely Life Orb Alakazam. Unless he's Modest. No. Even Modest is a maximum of 19.4%. So he is guaranteed Life Orb Alakazam. Gosh dang it, this thing. So let's go into... Well, if I cannot take a Shadow Ball. Yeah, especially after all the spikes up there. So let's go into Lycanroc and go for a Sucker Punch. This game is so close. And I need Lycanroc to get chip damage on Celesteela to put it in Rage for Gigavolt Havoc from Celebi. So if he goes into Powdon, I hard switch into Wobbuffet and sack it. His team is just so bulky. If he has Slack off on Powdon, then that's rough. Please just stay in and sack the Alakazam. Please just do exactly what I want you to do. Alright, so he goes into Celesteela. The question is, do I stay in and go for Stone Edge to get the chip damage on it? I'm leaning towards yes. Yeah, I think I have to. So like I said, I need the chip damage. And we get a crit. And he gets plus Spadef. I think we lose. Because as we saw, I would need I think I need a crit Bullet Punch. Unless he doesn't have HP Fire. But even without HP Fire, yeah. So here I go into Celebi. What does Charge Beam do to it? We know he's not max Spit F. But he does have a defense boost. Celebi. Charge Beam does 13 to 16%, so I would need to go for Z move. Or I go into Wobbuffet. I can't go into Scizor because I only have one more switch into Scizor to live as Shadow Ball. Because basically we were banking on either a crit, Bullet Punch, or no HP Fire. And he might not have HP Fire because he might be I knew he was going to switch out because he had to have known I would have Sucker Punch. But I couldn't risk for him to stay in and kill my Lycanroc, so I had to go for the Sucker Punch. But if I had gone for Stone Edge, then we would be in such a good position right now. Still with our Lycanroc, still with our Sucker Punch. Yeah, I have to go into Celebi here. And I go for the Gigavolt Havoc. And here's the Alakazam. So, this is what we do. We sack Wobbuffet. We go into Scizor. And we Pursuit. Because I don't want to bank on the crit. I can't bank on the crit. So, Pursuit guaranteed kills, Bullet Punch does not. So, I have to hope he thinks I'm banded. And withdraw. That's what I gotta bank on. Or he stays in and doesn't have the HP Fire. And then I Pursuit and then Pursuit knocks him out anyways. Come on. Come on. Switch out. Switch out. You know you want to. You know you got to. Come on. That was a max roll. Actually, no, never mind. I'm sorry. But he does hit the Focus Blast. And that's GG. Gosh. Fuck. So yeah. That looks like it's it for us, guys. If Rossi can beat Jersey, then we're still in the playoffs. But right now, it looks like this will be our first season without making it into the playoffs. So if I had predicted this LSCO switch in, I could have gone for Stone Edge, but I couldn't risk for him to stay in with Alakazam and go and kill my Lycanroc. Other things I could have gone differently. I was also expecting him to start going for spikes on Wobbuffet. But But at that point, there really wasn't anything I could do because he was going to guarantee get at least one layer up. Um, so yeah, I think the thing that really killed us was the double crit Magma Storm on Rotom, because it could have come in and defogged on Celesteela or on Hippowdon if he ever brought that in. And without the rocks and spikes up, Scizor would have lived that Focus Blast. Other stuff would have lived stuff as well. So yeah, again, 2 weeks in a row, we go down to Mega Hacks, because if Rotom had just lived that Mega Storm, he could have gotten that defog off. I guess actually looking back, so he was scarfed, or at least outsped the Rotom. So on the second one, he would have brought us lower to where we would have died to rocks on the entry. Yeah. So I guess the second crit didn't really matter as much. Other than getting some nice chip damage on the Heatran and Rotom serving as a sack later on in the match. But still, that really smarts. Because if he hadn't crit us either time, then Rotom definitely would have been able to come in one more time and defog. But yeah, so that's probably it for guys. Thanks for tuning in this season. We might be back for playoffs if Jersey loses to Rossi, but we'll see. Bye, guys.